Hey Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching Raiders Report, brought to you by BetDSI. You may be asking yourself, Mitch, why are you showing me one word to describe Mel Kiper? Well, today I'm breaking down Mel Kiper's perfect Raiders mock draft, the first 4 picks. So, while you're here, make sure you guys, one word to describe Mel Kiper. If you want my personal opinion, I think there's a guy better out there in the industry for the draft world. That's Tom Downey. Go follow him at What Going Downey. All right, let's get in now. The very first pick that Mel has in the Raiders' perfect mock draft. He went with number 4, defensive tackle out of Alabama, Quinton Williams. And you guys know that I like Quinton Williams. Heck, he's the number 1 player on Tom Downey's big board. I would say arguably the best player in this year's draft. And I think when you look at the upside that Quinton Williams has, it's crazy. You look at this guy's tape. He had 71 tackles last year at Alabama. And when you want to watch other tape on other Alabama players, you get frustrated because Quinton Williams is just absolutely blowing up everything. And I get it. I get that our, let's say, defensive end is a bigger need than defensive tackle. So, Mel, I'm hoping that Quinton Williams was your pick because Josh Allen and Nick Bosa were off the board. Now, I'm going to show you now the Raiders' defensive line depth chart. It's pretty good up the middle, right? So P.J. Hall pick that we had last year, Jonathan Hankins, Mo Hurst. The Morrow, that's the weakness, okay? That's the position we need to fill. But let's say the Raiders go out, they take Quinton Williams. I think he's going to end up replacing Hankins. I think he's a better option than Jonathan Hankins. I think they would want Mo Hurst, Quinton Williams up there in the front of the defensive tackle positions, but then also having Hankins being able to sub in here and there just to create extra depth. So, the way that I want this to work is I want you guys to constantly interact with me on this show, on Facebook, on YouTube. I want you to throw in your comments below. So what are your thoughts on Quinton Williams to the Raiders at pick number 4? I want you to comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on Quinton Williams to the Raiders at number 4. Let's look at the next pick that Mel Kiper has as being the perfect start for the Raiders in 2019. It's Usin out of Temple, quarterback at pick 24. And when I first saw the picture of Usin, I thought this dude was like 100 years old, but he's not, I promise. He's got a high upside, though, and he did excel, okay? In FBS, he's got impressive size. There's no doubt about that, but he needs to work on his technique. I think technique is a really, really important aspect when you're looking at the cornerback position, especially in the NFL. You can get by in college on talent. When you really combine the size that Usin has with really solid technique, that's when this guy could absolutely excel. So here's the defensive back depth chart for the Raiders right now. Okay, we got Garyon Conley, Daryl Worley, Nick Nelson, Carl Joseph, LaMarcus Joyner. Those are our starters. I think if we go out and get Usin at pick 24, I think you could slot in there. It could be a duo with Garyon Conley. Garyon Conley really emerged. Now, also John Gruden had his comments and said that they want to get another cornerback because of the injury concerns that some of these past cornerbacks have had. So, I don't have the exact quote up here, but John has basically hinted at it in the past. Now, this is Mel Kiper's quote on Usin's NFL future. Usin, one of college football's best lockdown corners in 2018, is still raw. He played just 1 season at FBS level, but he's got a high ceiling. When I see the high ceiling of Usin, I get that it can be exciting. I will say this. I want to see if John Gruden can mold in a player like Usin to be where he is at now to maybe what he could be later on down the road. So, what are your thoughts, Raider Nation? Okay, on drafting Usin at pick 24, I want you to comment below. All right? Comment below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you guys follow Chat Sports on Twitter also. That's down there in the comments section. Let me know. All right, next Next pick here for Mel Kiper's perfect Raiders mock draft. So we already took Quinton Williams, defensive tackle out of Alabama at 4. Then we went Usin, quarterback out of Temple at pick 24. Mel Kiper is going to go with Irv Smith, tight end out of Alabama at pick 27. So we've already got 2 Alabama players and a Temple player. Now, he says that he's a well-rounded as a blocker and receiver. He's widely seen as the 3rd best tight end in the draft. And when we talk a lot about tight ends here on the show, we talk about TJ Hawkinson and we talk about Noah Fant. So I saw Irv Smith there at 27 of the Raiders, and I was like, okay, Mel, I'll see what you guys think. I'll see what the nation thinks. Now, when I look at the defensive tight end depth chart for the Raiders, it's Lee Smith, Carrier, and Luke Wilson. We know that they lost Jared Cook in free agency. Heck, he had 68 receptions this past year, 896 yards, led the team in touchdowns with 6. We know that we need to be able to find a tight end replacement. And let's say TJ Hawkinson goes early. Let's say Noah Fant. They go a lot earlier than expected. Maybe Irv Smith slides down to the Raiders there at pick 27, and the Raiders end up nabbing him. I think if they get Irv Smith at 27, Kiper's projecting him to be the starter, and I agree with that. I mean, I think, no offense to Lee Smith, he's a blocker, and that's about it. So you put Irv Smith, likely to start day one for the Raiders. We know that I think Derek Carr needs that safety blanket at tight end. He's been relying on Jared Cook so much. And yes, I absolutely love the wide receivers that the Raiders have. You guys know that I love Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams. I think J.J. Nelson's really going to be able to stretch the field. The thing that I like about Irv Smith, he's a good catcher. He can't catch the ball quite like Noah Fant, but he can also block way, way better than what Noah Fant. So, Nation, what do you guys think? Okay, thoughts on Irv Smith at pick 27. I want you to comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, let me know. What are your thoughts on Irv Smith? Do you think maybe we should wait on a tight end? You want to be an overachiever? You want to tell me a sleeper tight end that the Raiders should target later on in the draft? Or maybe, should the Raiders trade up to get a TJ Hawkinson? Or should they trade up to get a Noah Fant out of Iowa? I got a question for everybody who's watching. And I know there's a lot of people that watch our show. We're getting close to 15,000 subscribers. Heck, I had some guy send me, somebody starting a GoFundMe so I can get a Raiders tattoo at 15K, but then I'm keeping the other 15K if you guys end up raising it. Make sure you guys turn on those notifications. Make sure you guys subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. So I asked everyone, when do you watch the Raiders Report? And I want you guys to comment below because I think it's really interesting to see when you guys watch it. So my man Roy sent me this screenshot on IG at MitchellRenz365. He said, always watching while at the office. Get back to work, Roy. What are you doing at work? What kind of work do you do? No, I'm kidding. I absolutely love that you guys watch me at work. I think it's super awesome. I think it's cool when I hear people watching me at dinner time. Really cool. So, Nation, send me screenshots on IG and Twitter when you watch the Raiders Report. I'll put you on the show. Make sure you guys subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Raiders Report. Can you do that for me? Take a screenshot of this. Send me a picture of it. I'll put you on the show. Subscribe. youtube.com/Raiders Report. Last pick. And Mel Kiper's perfect mock draft. So Quinton Williams is at 4, Usin at 24, Irv Smith at 27. Mel Kiper goes running back out of Alabama, Josh Jacobs. So out of the first 4 picks in the Raiders 2019 perfect mock draft, 3 of them are from Alabama. So Mel's, I guess, rolling with the tide here. He says that he would be a great combination with Jalen Richard. And he did split carries with Damian Harris, and Damian Harris did have a better college career in terms of stats, but Josh Jacobs is the best running back in this year's class, and this is what Mel Kiper had to say on Josh Jacobs. Jacobs might not make it to round 2, but Gruden and Mayock shouldn't pass on him if he's there at 35. Get the best back in class and help out Derek Carr. Now, when I look at the Raiders running back depth chart, I know that we went out and got Isaiah Crowell. You guys know that I like Jalen Richard. He's a reliable pass-catching running back. He led the team, tied with Jared Cook with 68. And Chris Warren, I'm still waiting to hear how much you're weighing, homie. I did see some pictures. Now, you're wearing a sweatshirt. It's kind of hard to tell. I think it's a mixed bag of either you're 270 or you're 250. Maybe we'll go in the middle at 260. Now, if you go out and you get Josh Jacobs, I think he's the #1 running back then on this depth chart. I think he would still compete with Isaiah Crowell. I mean, I know they went out and got Crowell on a 1-year deal, but I think Josh Jacobs just is a much more talented running back. And if there's one thing that I've learned in the NFL these last few years, if a running back's really good, you can insert him into an offense, and they can excel right away. I mean, Zeke led the league in rushing his rookie year. Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing his rookie year. Saquon Barkley was an absolute monster last year. Rookies can come in right away, and they can dominate. Now, I will say this. Josh Jacobs isn't Zeke. He's not Kareem Hunt, and he's not Saquon Barkley, but he is a very talented running back. And John Gruden came out and said that he's looking for a 3-down running back that's young and that can really handle a large workload. I'll say out of any of the running backs in this year's draft class, I think Josh Jacobs is the one that fits that mold. So, guess what I'm going to ask you? What are your thoughts on Josh Jacobs to the Raiders at pick 35? Think about it as a grade. A, B, C, D, F, whatever you want to put. Do you like Josh Jacobs? Should the Raiders wait on another running back that you like a little bit more later on in the draft? Or is taking a running back at 35, who is the best running back in this year's class, Pretty good for you guys. So I want to know from everybody watching. So a quick another recap here of Mel Kiper's perfect Raiders mock draft. Quinton Williams at pick number 4. Usin, cornerback out of Temple at pick 24. Irv Smith at pick 27, tight end from Alabama. And then Josh Jacobs, running back from Alabama. So grade it. What do you think? You saw it. Grade Mel Kiper's perfect Raiders mock draft. Is it perfect for you? Are you giving it an A? Is it a B? Is it a C, a D, or F? Today's show was around the 2019 NFL Draft. If you want to bet on some NFL Draft props, there's one place to do it. It's our sponsor, BetDSI. See where it says play now? Chatsports.com/bet. While you're there, you might as well use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. Do you guys like free money? Do you like the NFL? Well, then do it. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. If you put down $50, you'll get $60 for free. If you put down $100, you get $120 for free. Be a big baller. Put down $500, get $600 for free. I challenge anybody on the internet to find a better promo code than my Raiders120 thanks to BetDSI. Make sure you guys subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube at youtube.com/RaidersReport. Make sure you guys interact with me on IG and Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and I'll see you later. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.